Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble, which at the time seems to be having trouble syncing the videos I publish here from YouTube. I don't know, again, I continue without kind of having shorter videos because it's 4K footage. I don't know if it takes more time, but yeah, I usually publish there. Usually automatically syncs up, but yeah, when I have time I have to check better this situation here. With that support, if you want directly PayPal or Patreon, I still need to work out that one. Just a quick kind of update here regarding the channel. I already made like some rough unboxing videos. I took the footage of my unboxing and then made like extra commentary. I'm just trying to use the new software. I never used this one. It's the DaVinci Resolve one. It's kind of similar to Adobe, the Premiere Pro, which was the one that I was using before, but almost like 5 years without using that software. It's still a little bit confusing trying to handle the things there, but at least with these kind of shorter videos I can fine-tune better my skills there. And of course the image stuff is quite relatively simple. I don't need to do a lot of complicated stuff, but yeah, I will start pumping up those unboxing videos throughout this week, maybe one per day. I just need to finish up that and start uploading them for you to check out. And of course, any kind of feedback on the comments is very much appreciated. To tell me what you like or didn't regarding those videos, and if the information is well worth. So in the future, I have that feedback to see if it's worth continue to do those videos, but probably I will continue to do so just in case of people are aware what brings on the package. Sometimes you don't know, you think and have like a kind of impression how things are, but yeah, let's get started. So got ASRock's the A770 16GB variant. They dropped a little bit the price here, $30. Now it's available at 300, and the 8GB model it's 250 basically, which is kind of the sweet spot, I think. Given that when they drop prices, they usually drop to this kind of price, and because they are dropping the price, I think that this is kind of the sweet spot in terms of the market overall, that people are comfortable on spending money on GPUs. This is a kind of a decent GPU. It can even do like 1440p, kind of medium graphic settings in almost every game, but it can handle better still. The Intel, in the overall scheme of things, it still handles better like newer games because of the DirectX like kind of support from the drivers. It works better with newer games, but still it's kind of competitive with around the 4060 Ti-ish kind of realm there, and they managed to put like huge drop prices. They have to do like this. They have to be very aggressive so they can start gaining a little bit of mind share and also market share to a certain degree. They only have this Alchemist, which is the first version of the GPUs. Supposedly we should have in the meantime a refresh of the Alchemist kind of a thing here. I don't know, because Battle Mage, it was delayed to a certain degree with the roadmaps that been linking here and there. Supposedly only 2025, I think. Meanwhile, at least in terms of launch, meanwhile we should have, I don't know, next year some Alchemist like refresh on the GPU side. But yeah, these are pretty good deals. I really, even the 750 can be a decent deal here. I really do recommend taking the Intel GPUs into account when you have like your limited budget. It might serve you well. They are continuing their support. They are non-stop trying to do the best they can. It's first foray into GPU in recent memory, even though they launched like a lot of years before. They tried to go around that, but it was a flop there. But here they are taking things more seriously, and I think they will do way better than the last foray that they did in the GPU market, and I think it's going to be they are very pretty competitive at the price points they are at. Compared with other GPUs, they are a way better value, let's say that way. Especially even with the 7600 and the 4060s, that they basically they go head to head, and the fact that this one, the 16GB variant, is the cheapest 16GB VRAM, and they have like decent memory bus. It's not like the TI thing there, which just the memory bus is a complete shit show. Basically, you don't see a lot of improvements unless you just need more VRAM. That's it. So there is no kind of uplift in terms of performance unless you have like VRAM issues with 8GB. It's the only thing that can make a difference, and usually like 5% performance, which is usually because of stuttering and everything. The 16GB, at least with the 4060, you can get a smoother experience, but the performance itself, it doesn't get an uplift per se. But yeah, this is what we got here. This is from Newegg. I think because of these like little eggs. This is from Newegg. Got the links here. If you're looking for a GPU, I think it's well worth taking this in account. Regarding gaming news, we are getting some stuff here for Gamescom and also for PAX East, which comes basically after Gamescom here. We are starting getting to ramp up because we are almost ready. I think Gamescom is like in one or 2 days. Today is 21st. I'm not sure with dates. I'm very horrible with that. But I know it's. I think it lasts until the 25th or something like that. I know the 25th. It's a date for Gamescom. I don't know if it's the closing or the opening. But I know PAX East is beginning of September. But similarly, that there are some hands-on previews with some demos, especially from IGN. Of course, they are the big one, and GameSpot also, even though I don't trust too much of their information, but they from time to time they can get one right in other stuff here. But it seems that this specific game demo only brings like basically 3 kind of boss fights and some sneak peeks of the whole chapter, even though that the demo didn't feature the entire package of the game itself, like the mechanics such as a level up system. The demo to certain degrees seemed to showcase the skills and equipment accessible in the main game. There is kind of a revamped combat mechanics that now includes more postures, and they were able to use some transformation abilities, whatever it is. I try not to go too much in deep with the leak stuff, but there is some kind of transformation that you can use, part of the mythos of the Monkey King mythos in Chinese culture, which I think it to a certain degree is basically to represent the human evolution or the mythology itself, and going through transformations until you find your final form per se. It's part of that journey to a certain degree. But yeah, it seems pretty, and you can see, for example, in the early Dragon Ball stuff, you can see that some of the influences of this kind of mythos of the Monkey King. But yeah, they are one of the combats. The macaque chief, it's on the snow, and then there is like certain twists here and there. When you have lower health, the battle gets even more difficult as like the aggression and attack range patterns increase from the enemy point of view. But yeah, it seems going on pretty good path here. We now have store pages on Epic Store and Steam page as well. I will leave the link of the Steam page as usual. We don't seem to have, for example, there is going to be inclusion, of course, of ray tracing DLSS 3. We don't know regarding the other technologies. Again, I'm all for every technology that can be accessible, especially in this. Even though I don't use it, like DLSS or upscaling, I don't see the need to use, especially with my current rig. But yeah, these technologies, when implemented, I think they have been implemented from all manufacturers in the games. I don't want exclusivity on these kind of things. Being from Starfield with the FSR stuff, or for example in this case with the DLSS with this game here, I think everything should be available to the consumer, because there is not only one GPU manufacturer and GPU that has software to handle these things on the games. But yeah, seems to be on a good path here. Supposedly I don't know if it is the demo they tried out from IGN, supposedly it's going to be playable at Gamescom. I suppose it's going to be kind of a vertical slice, which basically it is technically a vertical slice. It's good because we can have like a rough idea in terms of the mechanics. Again, don't trust too much on the graphic parts, mainly because usually they tend to be downgraded and depend on the optimization they will do with the game. We had a lot of issues with the optimization on the games that are being launched here. The last one that I can remember is Remnant 2. Basically, for you to have like playable frame rates, you have to use the upscaling technologies, which basically doesn't equate to optimization. The fact that these technologies supposedly were made to help out like lower end GPUs to handle like newer games and try to kind of simulate a little bit of uplifting performance. This is not for like high-end GPUs to have to use this kind of technologies for the game to be playable. It's quite a big difference here. But yeah, hopefully devs are starting to get aware of the backlash that is coming with this kind of things, and this kind of upscaling technology will be used for the intended purposes. But yeah, continuing, we got Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Supposedly going to be a re-reveal on PAX West. This game had some kind of troubled development cycle. I never played the first one, but it's one of those that I always heard that is like a very good RPG. I follow the guy that was worked on that from Troika, because it was made by Troika Studio. The first one, it was Tim Kane. I follow him because he always has like some interesting ideas on like the gaming world, like development, like not insider, but at least the experience that he has. And it went through from Fallout things to Ultima series. He worked on that. I always find the team interesting, the takes that he has. I might not agree with all of them, but I think it's very interesting and very insightful on how like things go about in the behind the scenes that people usually are not aware. But yeah, supposedly this one went from studio to studio to a certain degree. Paradox is the publisher here, so they got the rights of the IP. But yeah, seemingly we might have some kind of plans for like at least a teaser or something like that, with like a more secure, if it is going to have like any kind of information like a release date or something like that, or even like a gameplay trailer, which in terms of trailers is the best case scenario for me. I don't like CGI trailers. It can give you the mood, but it cannot give you an idea what the gameplay is all about. But yeah, seemingly the people were asking about it, and the community manager there with a nice emoticon. So basically we might kind of get that something will happen in PAX West, which takes from 1 to 4th. Again, I will try to keep my eyes on it, as well as Gamescom, and bring you the most interesting thing that I see from there. Basically, just a quick background. The target release at first was for Q for 2020, but then it was for late 2020, then to 2021. Then after the project manager from the first game that came out on purpose for the second one. They went out a few months later. They basically was on limbo, so they paused Infinite Hold. But now supposedly we are going to get some more definite news, and seemingly they were working on it. There's been a lot of rumblings throughout the years here and there, but nothing kind of definitive. So I didn't cover too much, but seemingly we are going to get something here, and I might in the near future maybe see if I get a deal for the first game and try it out to see if it's worth making a gameplay series, because now with the ramping up, I already did the unboxing video, so that thing is taken care of. Then I'm going to finish up downloading some of the games still and trying to tweak the recording software for me to get the and trying to test out the game, see what's the best settings for the components that I have. Fortunately, most of them will be like 4K 144 basically, but I will going to record in 60. Of course, YouTube cannot handle more than 60, but I will do a specific video regarding that, trying to tell you what kind of games I'm thinking of playing, and I might be making a poll on Twitter or something like that, or even I will make possibly make a poll on the YouTube community page and probably on Twitter. I will think about it throughout this week to see how it goes. And let's say we got some kind of not drama, but it is and it's not kind of drama, depending on how you want to look at it. Suppose there were some comments for Starfield, Star Screen, which is people want to pick something to dish out. It's, I don't know, people just go pick anything that they want to. Supposedly one former Blizzard WoW team leader, which is funny enough, that supposedly a dev is calling out other devs. We got here the tweet, I don't know how to even pronounce it, physiognomy of start screens. The start screen of a game can reveal a lot about how rushed the team was and how much pride they took in their work. Starfield start screen either shows hastily shipping the deadlines by a passionate team overwork or a team that didn't care, blah 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 blah. Just basically put out a lot of stuff that I don't know where they take these ideas. The fact that you have the fact that the company has a philosophy regarding start screens doesn't mean that other companies have the same philosophy regarding start screens, which is something. It's good for a presentation because you get like a basic idea, but we are at a point that when we buy a game, we already have an expectation, and we usually have kind of information of what the game is going to be about. So I don't see. I like good star screens, but yeah, I don't overthink too much. I think the Starfield one, it's very simple. It's in theme with the game itself, which is kind of trying to sparkle curiosity. I think. But yeah, Pete Hines, I've been following him. Sometimes he doesn't pass the better matches here. He got some flops here and there. I don't remember which game. I remember he went on a tirade one time. I think it was, yeah, they try to massage the things regarding the Redfall game. I think it's already been forgotten in the annals of history, of gaming history. So yeah, but basically this has been Pete Hines just referenced that the start screen itself, it's already been for years the same, and supposedly it's one of the first things they decided on what the start screen will be. So I don't know why people, especially this little Grumsy guy, was talking about, but yeah, they throwing shade because the game is very hyped, and I don't know if he has still any kind of connections, for example, to Activision, because we have the Overwatch 2 thing happening still, which is, it's a shame. It's basically the worst game reviewed on Steam. because the game is not good. It overpromised, and then they deceived consumers, which after they bought the game, they will continue passing the match. There will be like extra content, like single player content or whatever it was, and basically they didn't launch anything. They cancel everything, and then it's just a sea of microtransactions to play the game, which is very Activision-y, especially for the last 6 years or so, give or take at least. For me, I noticed it because I never played WoW or Call of Duties or anything like that, not even Destiny. The only game that I was basically playing was Hearthstone. I did a lot of content with Hearthstone, and I start noticing the ramping up of because I played since the beta phases, the Hearthstone, and I start noticing a lot of throughout the time, a lot of some ramping up on microtransactions, and just putting out content, diminishing the window between each content, so they can try to monetize better, because of course you got the car packs, and then they start monetize the content itself to a certain degree with microtransactions, not through premium currency that they had. So it was starting to get a mess, and I was started not enjoying the game, because then for enjoying the game I had to mandatory spend money, even though I spent like some money on some card packs here and there because I was enjoying the game, and I think okay, I can throw a little bit of money here because I'm enjoying very much the game at the time. But afterwards I just quit. If I'm not enjoying the game, I just quit the game, and that's it. But yeah, star screens, go figure. People just jealousy, and the fact that they are throwing shade to other developers here. It shows a little bit of the things that can happen behind the scenes that usually people don't see. It's like every industry. It's like Hollywood. They are all with their dramas and trying to throw each other under the bus with whatever it is. It's like everything in especially in corporate world. It's everybody's trying to do nothing, take all the credit, and throwing others that do the job under the bus. Usually it's like this. If you ever work in a corporate job, you know how it works. But yeah, let's finalize with some good stuff here, some gaming deals. We got still Spiritfarer Farewell Edition. You should have like a few hours still after the video is published, and if you are in doubt, you got the demo here. So 75% off. I think it's a good deal for this game. I already talked about it like a couple of days ago. It's one of those that I will also like to play in the near future. Also, we got still breathedge. Also, I'm curious about this game. 60% off. Should have also a few hours after publishing the video. A little bit mixed here and there. I think it's a lack of expectation, because I went through the very positive ones. They basically they were aware this is not like a long game. It's kind of a shorter experience from what can be an open world survival crafting game here. But yeah, it's the humor can be a miss or hit, but the overall positive thoughts, the overall thoughts that are basically kind of positive as in the indie kind of development studio here. And they announced the second one. I think it's going to expand more on this first one, and you get still the immortal chicken, the chicken that cannot die, whatever the scenario is. I think it's kind of interesting some of the stuff that they there. Also, got Darkest Dungeon, the first one of these games that it's turn-based combat, roguelike, one of those that also elevated this kind of genre to new heights. 80% off, $5, the base game. Then you got some more DLC here. I think it's worth buying all the DLC. Darkest Dungeon Ancestral Edition, yeah, 72% off. I think this is worth buying because the content itself is pretty good. It has some kind of interesting stories, and the mechanics are very, very. It's not an easy game, but it's a challenging game, let's say, and I think it's well worth the for you to try out. We got also still Shadow Tactics, Blades of Shogun. If you old enough to remember like the Commandos game, and if you like them, I think this one is a good spiritual successor in this kind of gameplays. We also had a new game that came out, this one, Shadow Gambit, the Cursed Crew. It's kind of the same, a similar kind of a thing here. But if you're in doubt, you have the demo here to try out. It's 90% off. I think it's worth the price here. I have this game. I managed to snag it on Epic Games, but here still I think the price is it's good enough. It's more than good enough. And again, you got the demo if you are in doubt. And lastly, we got Vampire Survivors. If you like this kind of hack and slash kind of thing here, auto battler to a certain degree, with a lot of roguelike elements, with some interesting twists here and there on the story per se. It's got its own mythology to a certain degree, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, it's fun like hell, and it's so dirty cheap. I think, and it's made basically by two 3-person team. They just did it for fun at the time, but then it got so big that they got serious on trying to add features and add more content to the game, because people demanded more, the people that bought the game. And I think it's a good example of how something that you do on your free spare time, to a certain degree, can grow to, I don't know, like a phenomenon to a certain degree. And I think you should buy the DLC bundle, because it adds more interesting things here. It's just $5 basically. I think it's well worth it, and even the soundtrack is pretty excellent. But yeah, basically for today, this is it. At the moment, I will be launching more at least one more video today. For the time being, it's going to be very crowdy on the channel, but then I will make a proper video addressing more stuff that is upcoming here. And with all that said, guys, I hope you are enjoying everything. Just leave me some feedback on the comments below. It's very much appreciated for me to have a better idea of how things are going here. And I hope you have a full day, and I will see you in the next one. So till then, Kunamy Master out.